The sun hung lazily in the sky, warming the green valley where families gathered for the annual riverside picnic. Children ran barefoot through the grass, swinging kites and chasing each other with wild, carefree laughter. The river wasn't just water, it was part of the village's heartbeat, calm, familiar, trusted. 6-year-old Zayan was the most excited of them all. He wore his favorite red t-shirt, a little faded but still his treasure. He kept tugging at his father's hand, pointing to the wooden boat waiting by the shore. "Baba, boat! Boat!" His father Adil laughed, lifting the boy onto his shoulders, promising him they would go soon. The picnic was lively, women cooking biryani, men playing cards under a large willow tree, and children splashing in shallow water. Zayan wandered close to the river's edge, scooping water in his hands and watching the sunlight sparkle in it like diamonds. His mother kept calling him back, and he kept answering with that cheeky smile only little boys have when they know they're being mischievous. Finally, Adil brought the boat over. Everyone cheered and stepped in carefully. The boat wobbled, but Zayan loved the movement. His laughter danced across the water. As they drifted away from the bank, he leaned over, touching the surface, giggling at the coolness. But rivers can hide danger behind beauty. The wind changed direction suddenly, sliding across the water like a blade. A picnic bag full of soft drinks toppled over and slid into the river. Adil instinctively leaned out to grab it. Another relative did the same. The boat tilted dangerously. None of them noticed Zayan standing up at the front, trying to reach for a floating empty bottle. He always wanted to help. Always wanted to do things the adults did. The boat jerked. Zayan's foot slipped. And the world changed. A sharp splash tore through the laughter. Zayan disappeared under the surface, swallowed in an instant. His mother screamed like her heart had been ripped from her body. The boat rocked wildly as everyone panicked. Seconds felt like a lifetime before Zayan resurfaced, coughing and crying. The river's current wasn't wild, but for a child that small, it was merciless. It pulled him away, spinning him like a leaf caught in a storm drain. Adil reached out, stretching his arm as far as he could, but the boat drifted the opposite way, pushed by a slow but steady current. They tried rowing, but the oar caught the water at a bad angle and nearly snapped. Fear replaced every voice with trembling silence. Zayan drifted toward a small rocky sandbar in the middle of the river. The water slapped harshly against the rock. With shaking arms, he managed to grab the edge. His tiny fingers scraped against sharp stone. He climbed just enough to get out of the water, standing barefoot on wet sand that felt colder than fear itself. The villagers on the shore saw the commotion. A few shouted instructions, others panicked, unsure what to do. A mother cried hysterically. A father roared in helplessness. On the riverside sat 17-year-old Horace, who had been helping the elders set up barbecue grills. He wasn't supposed to be a hero. He wasn't even a fully trained lifeguard, just a trainee with basic rescue knowledge and a passion for swimming. But when he saw the small figure stranded in the middle of the river, shaking, crying, calling out for his parents, something inside him snapped. He didn't think. He didn't plan. He just ran. Kicking off his shoes, he dove into the river. The villagers gasped. The water pushed him sideways immediately. The current grabbed his legs and tried to drag him under. But he kicked harder, forcing his body through the water one stroke at a time. Zayan watched him with wide, terrified eyes. Every thunder rumble from the foaming storm made him flinch. The sky grew darker, clouds rolling in like an army closing in around him. Horace reached the sandbar just as Zayan's knees buckled. He scooped the child into his arms. "I'm here. I got you," he said, breathless but steady. Zayan clung to him like his life depended on his grip, because it did. The swim back was torture. The storm winds thickened. The river carried debris. Horace swallowed mouthfuls of water. His muscles burned. Several times he thought he would sink, but every time he felt Zayan's arms tighten around his neck, a new spark of strength pushed him forward. Villagers lined the bank shouting encouragement. Some waded into shallow water to pull them in. When Horace finally reached the edge, he collapsed into the mud, exhausted and shaking. But he never loosened his hold on Zayan until the child was safely in his mother's arms again. Zayan cried softly as his mother hugged him tightly, rocking him back and forth as if she could erase the river's memory. Adil crouched beside them, touching his son's cheeks, his voice breaking as he whispered prayers of gratitude. Horace lay on the grass, chest rising and falling rapidly. Someone placed a blanket on him. Another brought water. He didn't care about the crowd. His eyes only searched for Zayan. And Zayan, still trembling, looked back and whispered, "Thank you." That single whisper felt louder than the storm. As the clouds cleared and evening light returned to the valley, the river flowed calmly again, pretending it had done nothing wrong. But everyone who witnessed the rescue would remember that day forever. The day a little boy almost didn't come home, and a teenager with more courage than muscle brought him back. That night, Zayan slept with his parents on either side of him, their arms wrapped around him as if they feared letting go might make him disappear again. The river's roar was gone, replaced by quiet breathing and the relief of a family who got a second chance. Season 1 ends with Zayan opening his eyes in the middle of the night, touching his mother's hand, and whispering to himself, "I'm safe now." And for the first time since the fall, he truly believed it.